Hey everybody, welcome to another actionfeatures.net/1989batman.com merchandise spotlight. Today we're taking a look at a very unique and special item, and that is this beautiful Tony May full custom suit for the 1/6 scale Sideshow Collectibles Batman. Now if you're familiar with the channel, you've seen us do other Tony reviews, but they've always focused on capes. We did the Hot Toys DX09 cape reviews, we did the NECA quarter scale cape review, we did the 7-inch cape review, and he does fantastic work on capes, but where he and his partner Crystal really shine is making full suits. That's the tunic, the underwear, the cape, everything. And so he's gone above and beyond with tweaking this Sideshow Batman. As much as I like the Sideshow Batman out of the box, there were certain things where I was like, man, I wish they had done this instead, or I wish they'd focused more on this artist instead. Their version of Batman is really more of the Jim Lee Hush Batman, and not sort of more classic Batman, and that's what I really wanted in 1/6 scale. So when I saw Tony doing all these different suits, doing like a Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns suit, and All-Star Batman suit, and all these different things, I was like, man, Tony, I would love to have the oval symbol, blue and gray, late 70s, early 80s, or 80s, early 90s Batman, like my favorite artists, which are Neal Adams and Norm Brayfogle and Jim Aparo. That Batman is the one I would really like to have in 1/6 scale. And so he said, okay, well, let me see what I can do. And so he worked up this suit, and he sent it over to me with a new head, and I couldn't be any happier. This is a fantastic suit. It's really, once you see one of these in hand, you look at the Sideshow and go, oh yeah, I wish they would have done this better. I wish they would have done this better. It really takes this figure to a whole nother level. So let me explain what all I got in the mail, and if you ordered the same kit, what you would probably get in the mail, or depending on what kind of kit you order from Tony to change your Sideshow Batman, what you're going to get. For this version, there was no repainting involved whatsoever. He matched this blue color on the trunks and the cape to what you have here already in the boots and the gloves. So you don't have to worry about painting or anything like that if you're ordering the same set that I've got here, and that you're going to have a good match right off the bat, and you don't have to worry about painting, which was one of the things I really did not want to do, was have to paint parts. I do okay with painting, but not to the point where I would want to try and match something up unless it was just black. So that was a really big advantage of this one right off the bat, is that this all matched. So he sent me out, as far as costuming goes, this blue cape, which is very nicely fitted. It has like a separate stitching all around the neck, so it actually conforms to the neck, and you're getting like some shadowing and stuff where it kind of folds into the neck. If I can get a little bit closer here without knocking everything down, I will. You say you're getting that sort of shadowing where the neck is. I really, really like that. It's fitted so well to what the Sideshow body is that it just really shines. They do such a good job, Tony and Crystal, of making sure everything fits just perfectly to whatever body this suit is going to be going on to, and it just looks so awesome the way that neck is fitted. And then there's a seam line down each shoulder, so you get this great over-the-shoulder look, and it just exactly goes around the symbol. So you're getting a good amount of symbol showing while still getting that drape effect. It's a very comic book look to have that symbol showing and have his cape draping around it that they just pulled off so nicely. And then the cape can also kind of be folded over the shoulders while still maintaining a really cool look. When you fold it over the shoulders, you want to get as many of those wrinkle lines in there as possible. And I'm kind of doing this over camera, so it's a little tougher for me to get all the wrinkle lines I'd want. But it gives a really dramatic, cool look, very comic book styling to it to get those folds all coming down here, especially if we get the back. Again, like I said, I'm doing this over a camera, so I can't get the exact look I want to get out of it because I can't reach my arms out far enough. But you see what I'm saying? You get all these folds and shadow lines in there, and you're getting such a great comic book look. I'm going to have pictures of all this up on the site, and there'll be a link in the info section for you to take a look at still pictures of it in case you want to get better ideas of how cool you can get this cape to look. So that's the cape. The suit itself comes in 3 pieces. That's the tunic part, the upper body, like the shirt piece, the leg piece, and then a trunk piece. When you get your Sideshow body and you get the trunk, you get these, well, to get all these off, you just pull the hands off, and then the gauntlet pieces slide right off. You pop the feet off, and the ankle pieces slide right off. And then you just pull the trunk piece down. None of that is sewn on. Like the trunks aren't sewn on, and these glove and boot parts aren't glued on. They just slide all right off. But the suit itself is actually sewn onto him. So when you get the body off, you're going to come across the suit that you're like, how do I get this thing off of here? The only way to really get it off is to cut this seam line in the back. And if you carefully do it and pull out each stitch, you can always put this back on and sew it back on or whatever you want to do. But honestly, once you get this off and get one of Tony's suits on, you're not going to want to go back to this. I thought that I would maybe buy a second Sideshow Batman to keep as is, but I'm so blown away by how cool this is that I don't even need a second Sideshow Batman. This is my Batman now. So all that comes off. Now, when I got the suit, I was like, oh, this is really tiny. It felt like this is a small suit. I don't know how I'm going to get this on here. I'm afraid I'm going to pull something or tear something. And it was just so easy. The material they use is so nice. And the work on this decaling, the way it's put onto this, it's not a decal, but the way this is kind of adhered to the suit and put on there is so nicely done and such quality that as I pulled this on there, I was so afraid I was going to get crack lines in the symbol. It's perfect. This stretched right on here. Everything's fitted perfectly to this body. I got it on there, and the symbol is perfect. There's not a single crack line or anything. It's just really, really well done. So don't be too scared when you get the suit to go, I don't know if I can do this. I don't know if I can put this on without messing it up. It's just such quality material that you're just going to be blown away by how easy it is to get this suit on here. So I put the pants on, those stretch right on, and then the shirt comes on, and then I believe I did pants over shirt. I could be gone the other way around, but there's a little bit of overhang over the shirt, so that way everything can kind of lay on top of each other, and then the trunks just pull on over that, and then that kind of holds everything in place, so that you're not getting in kind of pulling up where the shirt rides too high or anything like that. It just keeps everything right where it is, and the fit of this short is great, or the underwear piece is just fantastic. It doesn't look too much like it's tiny like a Speedo or too big like boxer shorts or something like that. It's just really, really well fitted. I can't get over the kind of work that goes into getting everything to fit just perfectly on this figure, and it really is just phenomenal work. The other thing that really I admired was the material here doesn't feel like it's going to run as easily or pull as easily as this does. I was stretching this off and stuff, and I'm like, man, and while I really liked it on the figure, this feels kind of cheap. This material feels a little cheaply made, and I can already see little pulls and threads here and there and little tiny like runs, whereas this one is just like top notch. I'm not really worried about any of that stuff on this. It's really, really well done. All right, before we move too far off of the suit itself, I just wanted to take one more look at this symbol. This symbol is just so well done. It's got this very thin black line around it, like the outline that the Neal Adams drawings and such like that would have, that I had to bring up special attention to it because it's such a clean, beautiful symbol, and it's put on the suit so well that I just can't get over how good it looks. This is, I mean, you can't get better than that. That's just really well done. The material, the symbol on the Sideshow suit as is, it feels like it's kind of a sticky material almost, and it's got sort of a glossy sheen to it. I'm sorry, let me back this up a little bit here so you can see them both at once. See, it's got this sort of glossy sheen to it, and it definitely feels like it's just kind of painted on there. This feels like it's kind of a thickish feel to it. You can almost feel like the change between the black and the yellow. It's got this really nice black outline on it, and it has a flat color to it. So it's like it's almost like it's printed onto that suit. It's just, I can't get over how good the symbol is. Really, really phenomenal work on the symbol. And since we're up here anyway, let's go ahead and talk about this head now. Now, the head that I wanted for my Sideshow Batman was a Neal Adams type head. Jim Aparo, Neal Adams, those guys that did the classic Batman look. And Tony worked with the sculptor Eric Sosa, who put together this really nice Neal Adams head sculpt. And Tony painted it for me. He did airbrushing on it, so there's no paint or brush strokes or anything like that. And it's really well done. I don't know if Tony is always willing to paint somebody's head for them, or if Eric Sosa maybe will paint the heads for you or whatever. But I don't know the deal on that, how far that will go, if Tony was going to offer painted heads or what. Just when you email him, dandymay@gmail.com, just ask him about the head and what's available as far as painted goes, if he can paint it. Maybe he can recommend a painter if he's not able to do it, but it's really, really well done, and I can't thank him enough for painting it for me. That was really a godsend. And the thing I really noticed, too, when I got this head was it's much more in scale with the body. The Sideshow heads, while cool, are kind of large. When you see the body without the cape and everything, you get an idea that, man, their heads are kind of big. And so when I got this head on and I got all that suit on there, I really noticed that this head is much more in scale with the body. I like that. It's got the right comic book proportions to it, where the head is not too large, which is one of the things that is kind of a bummer that they did with that figure, is that they made the head sort of large. I'm sorry, I'm trying to pull back here as I'm going down. And that kind of gets rid of the comic book style proportions. Comic book characters should have sort of smaller heads. They shouldn't have larger heads. That way their bodies have more heroic proportions to them. And so this Sosa head sculpt is really well done for this body, and that you get that comic book style proportions. The one thing I do want to mention too real quick here is the belt you may notice is a DX09 belt. I'll get my DX09 out here and set it right next to him. Sorry, Batman, let's get you off this stand. Let's see. This also has a Tony cape. This is the final cape on this. Can you both of you guys stand there? So you see, I just took a belt off of an extra DX09, not an extra, but one of my DX09s, and put it onto the Neal Adams style Batman, because there was no belt with the kit. Tony's working on coming up with a belt for it. I don't know if he'll have one available by the time you're seeing this video or not. But this DX09 belt works really well. Like, it looks really sharp on there, and it's got sort of the capsule look to it. And for now, it's working just fine for me. I really like it. I think that Tony can maybe tweak a Sideshow belt into something different, but I don't know if he's going to offer that or not. Right now, they're really concerned with making the suits as good as they can, and pairing good head sculpts with them. I'm not sure if the belt is as much a concern. But if you get this suit and it doesn't have a belt, get a DX09 belt. You can get them off eBay, and it looks really, really good on there. All right, so I think that about covers everything here. Again, if you want to hit the info section, there'll be a link to pictures of all of the figure in various poses, pose next to different things, that kind of stuff. I won't have any comparison shots between it and Sideshow, because this was my only Sideshow, and he looks like this now, which is fantastic. So you won't see any kind of comparison pictures between him and Sideshow, but I'll have him up there with the DX09, and I'll have some pictures of him next to my Moe's Production Robin. And then if you want to email Tony about getting your own suit, it's dandymei, that's DANDYMEI @gmail.com, and I'll have that in the info section as well. But for now, let's gather this guy up, and we'll take him over to the couch and do the final part of the review. Hey everybody, we're back over here at the couch, me and Blaze, to give our final thoughts on the Tony May, Neal Adams style Batman custom suit.
Yeah.
Dude.
It's amazing.
It's so nice. Now we both liked the standard Sideshow suit.
Yeah,
you know, we thought it was nice.
It looks more like a Hush suit.
It looks like you said, more like a Jim Lee Hush suit. But you know, this is my Batman. This is it. I like the Hush suit. I like the black oval and stuff like that. But this is the Batman that I grew up on. The Neal Adams, Jim Aparo, Norm Brayfogle, that style of Batman. You know, going into after post-crisis, that kind of era of Batman is really the Batman that I grew up on and really, really loved.
And it's the Batman that I read, I don't grow up on any of the newer. Yeah,
you kind of grew up on this stuff. You read the trades and stuff like that. And so when the Sideshow came out, I was very much like, oh, you know, it's cool. I wish it had the oval logo, and I wish it had this. And I'd even contacted Tony and said, are you going to do suits for this? And I did like a Photoshop thing, and he ended up doing lots of suits.
Yeah.
You were just asking me a second ago, like, what other suits has he done? He's done like the Frank Miller Dark Knight Returns suit. Cool. He's done the All-Star Batman suit. He's done lots and lots of suits. But the thing with most of those suits was that you still had to do some customization. You had to change the color of these gloves, and like the boots and the coverings and things like that. So you still had to do some work on it to get it to that point. Right. And if you're not skilled in that kind of area, which I mean, I can paint and things like that, but I don't think my paint work is up to the level of Tony's suits.
Right.
So there was going to require some work in doing those.
Like, not saying anything bad either, because what he's doing is amazing.
Oh, they're fantastic. Right. I think it's great, you know, and it's part of the game when you're customizing 1/6 that you got to do that stuff sometimes. But what's great about this suit is, and this version of it, is that he got the blue to match the existing gloves and the existing boots. So really, it just is a matter of taking off the old suit and putting the old one on. Go ahead.
Which is easy.
Yeah, I talked a little bit about in the opening sequence when we really looked at the figure, but it really is just a matter of you got to cut the old suit off because it's sewn on.
Yeah.
Once you cut that stitching off and you remove everything, you just get this other suit on there and pop all the things on there, and you've got your Batman. Now, the suit, as he sent it to me, it does not include a belt.
Right.
And I talked about it in the opening sequence, and you noticed it right off the bat when you saw it. You said, hey, that's the DX09 belt. I just put a DX09 belt on him, and I think it looks really good. I think it looks great, yeah. It's maybe not the style that would match that era of Batman, but it did change based on the artist.
It looks like Iron Witch Batman because of the belt.
It does look like Iron Witch Batman because of the belt. But for me, it works right now until I decide later on maybe I'll upgrade the belt or something like that. But as of now, this is the definitive comic book Batman. This is my favorite Batman in my collection. I love my Keaton Batmans and like the NECA one and stuff like that. Right. But this is it, man. This is Batman. Yeah. This is, I mean, I look at this and this is perfect. And it looks great with that Tim Drake custom I've got.
Oh, yeah, because they're around that.
The same era. Yeah, they look really good together. The things I really like about this suit that he did here is, I mean, the stitching work is insane. It's perfect. The way this neck is stitched so that it like conforms to the neck area, cool. And then has these things that drop down on the shoulders. You don't get any kind of like bunching or kind of an odd lay to it or something like that. It has a definitive neck part, and then these parts come down over the shoulders, and you get this nice drape where you get the symbol right there.
This is a Tony made cape, right? All his capes are amazing.
You know, I didn't exactly. Oh, I wanted to. We'll look at that in a second here. You didn't get your opinion on that last one, but we'll get to that in a second. The whole thing is Tony May. I explained on this in the opening sequence, but you didn't get to see me put it on there. Right. What Tony sent me was the cape, the suit, which is 2 pieces. The gray suit is 2 pieces. The upper, shirt piece, and then the gray tights, right? For the pants, and then it's got the blue trunk piece, which is his. I already said the cape was his, right? And then the head sculpt is from him as well. And he actually painted mine. He doesn't really usually have time to do paint work because he uses an airbrush, so there's no lines or anything like that. But he painted mine, which, I love you, Tony. That was so nice of you. This is such an incredible thing to have done. Yeah, it's really a cool thing that you did for me, and I really appreciate it. So yeah, that's all his thing. And you know, I noticed when I took off the other suit, I liked the quality on the suit, and I'm not saying that the Sideshow Batman is bad. Right. We love the Sideshow Batman. It was a very, very cool figure. But I did notice that the quality was definitely a step down between theirs and what Tony's done. Like when I cut that suit off, I was like, man, I was feeling material, and it felt like a woman's nylons or something like that would really run easily. And I noticed little snags and little runs and things like that as I was taking it off and snagging things. But his suit, when I put it on there, I was just like, man, the quality on this material is so nice. And I was actually kind of scared as I put it on. I'm like, man, am I going to mess something up? Am I going to put a run in it? Or, am I going to make the symbol seem crackly when I stretch it over his torso? Nothing, man. It went on so easy. I just put his arm straight up, pulled it down, and then just worked the arms so that the seam was on the inside of the arm. And then, like I said, this upper piece is a separate piece than the lower piece. So if you had to, you could take all this off again and get another suit. Like, if I wanted to eventually have a different symbol, I could just order maybe the upper piece from Tony. I don't know if he sells it separate, but I would think that he would. If I ever wanted to switch that out, I would just need this upper part because these pants are a separate piece. And they all kind of push into each other. Like, there's extra bits here so that it goes inside the tights, and it fits so well. I mean, it just fits really nice. And the thing about the cape, too, is as much as we liked the Sideshow cape, we liked the material it was made of and things like that, this feels like, or seems more like what the Batman of that era's cape would have felt like. Well,
I love Tony May capes. I have one for my '89 Batman.
His capes are great.
I know, I love them.
They're so nice.
You have like a bunch of them on everything.
I do, yeah. I have like the X09 ones, and I have the NECA quarter scale, and then I have the 7-inch one here, which I did the review of this really quick, and I don't know if you've seen it yet or not. But that's the 7-inch cape.
This is the one you have on your 16-inch NECA, isn't it?
The 18-inch? Yeah, it's the same. It's a different material. He made a new one for that one, but I wanted to bring that over and show it to you.
That's really nice.
Yeah, his capes are great. We love his capes. But this experience of having a full figure that's been, tweaked thanks to Tony is unbelievable. I mean, this is all the favorite eras of Batman, like a Frank Miller Batman or this Batman, Tony can make it happen, and when you have it, it's like, dude, it blows everything else out of the water. Yeah. This is just, I can't stop looking at it. Like, sitting on the shelf, I just can't stop looking at this Batman. It makes me wish that the Sideshow Batman would have been this. Yeah. As much as I like the Sideshow Batman, I wish it would have been this. This is Batman. I mean, this is incredible work. It's just, I can't say enough of good things about it. It photographs well. There's really no bad pose to the cape. Like I was saying about the cape, it seems like this is the material that Batman cape would have been made of. Right. The way it kind of flows in pictures and stuff like that. When Neal Adams drew it, like it kind of swooping in the air and things like that. That other cape is kind of heavier, and it seems like it would drape across him more. Yeah. But this is the kind of cape that Batman would have worn. The one that fought Bane, and the one that went after Joker in the Killing Joke, in the Killing Joke, and Death in the Family. And it's just that there's so many classic Batman stories that featured this suit that it's just like, having this Batman on the shelf is where it's at, man.
That's the Batman suit.
It's so nice, dude.
come back to me on this.
Okay. I don't know who did the actual head sculpt. I think it was Ash. I don't know for sure who did this Neal Adams head sculpt that he's using for this, because he works with a lot of different sculptors. One of them is Ash Can. I don't know who the other one is, and I'm sorry. And once Tony lets me know, I'll correct it in the info section as to who did the actual sculpt. Tony did the painting, but it's a great Neal Adams head sculpt.
Yeah.
And the Neal Adams Batman is like a great definitive Batman, you know, facial expression. It's not. It's so sort of like almost vanilla that it's not, oh, that's definitely a Frank Miller head sculptor. That's definitely, you know, this artist or that artist. It's just a very much just, that's Batman.
Yeah.
You know? Dude, I love this. Tony and Crystal, you knock them out of the park. I can't get over how great this work is. Hit the info section if you want any kind of Batman, and Tony can send you pictures of all the different versions he's done, different suits that you can tweak your Sideshow version with. The email is dandymei@gmail.com. That's DANDYMEI@gmail.com. It'll be in the info section, but just email him and just say, hey man, what other suits have you made? What kind of pictures can you show me of what other things you've done? And really, once you've done this, once you've taken this off the Sideshow suit and put on whatever your favorite Batman is, you won't go back. Like, I was thinking that I would have to buy another Sideshow Batman, thinking, oh, I want a Sideshow Batman as is. No, I'm not going back. As cool as that figure is, this blows it out of the water.
I remember what I was going to say. I was talking about how Tony May capes really are the best quality capes out of any Batman. Like, they have a way better, like, drape feel to the
They really do.
Like, the other ones can't really drape that much. Like, the normal Hot Toy one
doesn't
drape.
It doesn't drape at all.
His capes are the best capes when it comes to Batman. Like,
yeah, no doubt.
Best capes
I think the Sideshow cape is really nice.
Yeah.
But like you said, it does drape. It's kind of a heavier cape. It's nice. But as far as, like, a comic booky Batman, this cape just... Man, it's just so Batman, dude. I love this figure.
But this toy, its cape doesn't drape too much, but, like, you get, like, a full drape on this cape.
Oh, dude, I couldn't stop talking about how great this cape was when I did this review. I was saying in the review that this is probably now my favorite Michael Keaton Batman figure. Even better than DX09. I love this NECA with his 7-inch cape. But, again, awesome work. And the ease at which you can transform the Sideshow Batman into, say, your favorite Batman is crazy. I mean, at first I was scared.
Does he do like a... Oh, sorry, I didn't.
No, go ahead.
Does he do like a first appearance Batman?
They did do one. Him and Ashcan together did a first appearance suit. I don't know if that one's still available or not, but it was like full head sculpt, suit, belt, everything.
That head's like...
It was really neat.
Interesting.
It was really neat looking. It was really cool what they did. They've done so many cool Batmans that it's just like, man...
Yeah.
Sideshow, wake up! These guys are killing it over here by offering all these different Batmans instead of trying to hodgepodge them all into one design.
They should really work for some of those companies.
I know. They would be
like the main person
doing crazy stuff, man.
When it comes to the costume designs on all their figures, they could do like
exactly. But again, I can't say enough cool things about this. I love it and the ease. I guess I was saying before I was scared when I went to do it, and it was so much easier than I thought it would be to change it. It was just really like, dude, he makes it so easy for you to turn it into what you want it to be. It's not like you gotta be a rocket scientist or be a tailor or something like that to transform. The things that he gives you are so fitted and so perfect for what they are that it's just, it was awesome. And now it's a dream come true Batman for me.
Well, he also does some other really cool suits. I've seen some of them.
Yeah.
Like Superman, he could do some cool stuff.
He's done some cool Superman stuff.
Kingdom Come Superman suit would be awesome.
Dude, it's the Sideshow Superman. I saw pictures of it, and it's really bad.
It is.
It looks really bad to me.
If you put one of his suits on, it's probably amazing.
I don't know. He's doing a bunch of Superman stuff. He said he's going to be doing a lot of work on Superman. Now I think he's run through all the different Batmans that he wants to do for now. And he's switching gears to Superman to see what he can do to fix that. And it's just, man, I can't wait to see what he does.
Well, knowing him, he can probably make it a lot better figure than
I agree. I agree. If you want to check out a gallery of pictures of this awesome figure, hit the info section and they'll take you to a gallery. I'm not sure if I'll put it on 1989batman.com or actionfeatures.net yet, but the link will be there and you can check out still pictures of it. I won't have comparisons between it and standard Sideshow because I turned my regular Sideshow into this and I'm not going back to regular Sideshow after this, so sorry about no comparisons, but there you go. Again, his email is dandymei@gmail.com, DANDYMEI@gmail.com. Is that it?
Yep.
All right. Thanks again to Tony and Crystal for putting this together. Awesome, awesome thing. I think we both agree that it's the coolest Batman in our house now. Yeah. All right. So we're going to see you guys on this one, and we'll talk to you guys next time.
Bye.